In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to install the open back panel set that I sell. This is going to be for the AC4 hand-wired version. I have, originally did this back panel set for the hand-wired AC15. As you can see, this is the original panel like that, and then there's a bottom piece. I've got a video that explains all about that, but in this video, I want to show how to do it on an AC4. So we're going to turn it around, unplug it first, and we're going to take a regular electric screwdriver. I'm going to fast forward this, but I'm going to take out all the machine screws and the wood screws. All right, we've got 5 wood screws on the bottom, and then the machine screws for the chassis are here. I'm going to pop this off. A little harder to get off than I was expecting, but there we go. No shielding on the back, making contact with the chassis. So we'll set that aside. I'm going to grab this. As you can see, these have metal shielding, which will make contact with the chassis, and this is going to pop right in. And just basically screw these back in. Now, one thing I would recommend doing before you try and put this back in is to loosen up the chassis from the sides. I'm not going to take these screws out. I'm just going to loosen them up a little bit so there's a little bit of wiggle room. And you see when you do this, the sides of the cabinet are a little compressed inward. It's kind of squeezing the chassis, so that's in there pretty good. But if we need to move it around a little bit this way or that way in order for these holes to align, you can do it that way. So I would recommend putting this in and starting with the top center screw. Remember, it's a machine screw. It's going to make that a little snug. You can tell that grabbed. These are all good. So I think if those first 3 went in, the other ones shouldn't have any problem. So I'm going to go ahead and get these in like that. So all those have grabbed really well. What I would do is get a regular screwdriver now and kind of make sure they're all around the same amount of tightness. And then these bottom ones, same thing. I'll probably start with the center one. On the AC15, you have to drill 2 pilot holes for the top corner screws on the bottom panel, but it worked out well with the AC4 that these use the same holes. There it is. So you can tell the slight difference in the tolex. This is Fawn from Mojo Tone. It's the more expensive tolex. It's the closest thing that I can find to this kind that they're using on the import models. There's a 5% difference. Some people wouldn't notice it. It's on the back, so I haven't had anybody complain about that, but this is good to go now. Now you can see which speaker's in there. Got a little bit more room for getting your hand in here if you want to put your foot switch in. Access to the tubes if needed. So overall, this amp kicks ass, and I think this is a really, really great mod to do, in addition to maybe changing out the speaker, playing with different tubes, and that's it. Oh, forgot one thing. Just wanted to remind you to, when you're done, to snug all these down by hand rather than using an electric screwdriver. That way you're not going to strip them out. So I'm going to go around and get all these the same tightness. And then lastly, I forgot to do this also, but you can take the ID plate off, and there's pre-drilled holes there. And then lastly, go back in and just kind of tighten these up again. There we go.